Thank you, Leisha. And we have another speaker. Right now, Anastasiia is going to talk about sustainability as the new Black. Welcome. Thank you guys for listening. It was amazing. We have really good crowd here. And well, over to you, Anastasiia. Looking forward.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello, good people. People of fashion, can you hear me well?
We need to give you the rights to do the
presentation,
I'm
right?
waiting. Yeah, just give us a second. Tech support, can you please give the rights to post to Anastasiia?
So, hello, good people. I must confess, I'm a bit nervous. It's my first presentation in English, but I'll try my best to deliver my pretty emotional message. Yeah. So let the show begin. Sustainability is the new Black. Sounds nice, yeah? For me, it sounds really fashionable. So let me introduce myself and why am I here? So my name is Anastasiia. I'm an engineer, a teacher, I'm an educator, I'm a mother, a wife, I'm a dancer, a snowboard trainer, eco-warrior. My native language is Russian. I'm currently living in Bali. So no word about fashion. So why am I here? Well, I'm a human, right? I live on this planet and I wear clothes. So I have something to do with fashion, right? So I'm the consumer, I'm the end user of this world of fashion. And sustainability is the new Black. I would like to deliver the message that it's not only trendy, but it's something we all desperately need, all of us. And here is what I'm going to talk about in my presentation. So first of all, I wanted to discuss, is sustainability in fashion really crucial and why? Also, I would like to show how global fashion agenda reflects the United Nations Sustainable Goals. Yeah, and what can be done to bring this new Black into the world of fashion globally and locally. And also, I will share a fascinating story about my yoga crop top, my private story. So stay with me, stay till the end. I would like to quote here, yeah, does it really matter? Sustainability. So making peace with nature is the defining task of the 21st century. It must be the top priority for everyone, everywhere. So these are the words of the Secretary General of the United Nations in 2020, in December. So ecosystems are declining globally, and they're declining too fast, at such a fast rate, the fastest rate in the history of humanity. And all these destructive processes like water pollution, carbon emissions, degradation of soil, deforestation, all these processes are widely shared, so it's not a secret. Long story short, we produce and consume more than the planet can stand. And that is why this was one of the reasons that in 2015, United Nations adopted 17 Sustainable Development Goals, which are also known as the Global Goals. And this is actually, like they say, it's a shared blueprint for all the humanity, or all the humans in the world, to bring us to prosperity, to healthy life on our planet. And this is an urgent call. So we don't have actually a lot of time. The time is till 2030. And as we can see here, the global goals, the sustainability is not only about eco issues. It's about ending poverty, about ending hunger, about improving education and health, motivating economic growth, global partnership, etc., etc. And what is very important to point out here, that all the actions which must be done, they don't lie only with our governments. These goals are for each and every one of us to try and to reach. So globally and locally, these are the goals for all of us. So what am I leading to? Yeah. My next slide shows how fashion industry, what kind of role does it have in the framework of the global goals. So answer, is fashion industry an important player? Yeah, the question is such, the answer is definitely. So when we are talking about fast fashion, The Guardian in 2019, they wrote, 1 in 3 young women consider garments worn once or twice to be old. So fast fashion led us to an idea of a new idea, what is considered to be fresh and what is considered to be acceptable by society to wear. And this situation, when we can update our wardrobe by buying a couple of clothing items by the price of a breakfast, so it makes us neglect this huge problem of fast fashion reality. And the problem of fast fashion reality is the overproduction and overconsumption, which lead us to climate impact. So fashion industry is considered to be the second most polluting industry in the world after oil and gas industries. And its imprint on the climate equals to the UK, Germany, and France together combined. Also, it is said that fashion industry is responsible for 8–10% of carbon emissions, which lead us to the conclusion. Future fashion is the future of our nature. So yes, sustainability in fashion does matter. And I would like here to look at the global fashion agenda, which reflects how fashion industry acts, in the framework of global sustainable goals. Yeah. So I gave here, for example, 6 global goals. So if we are talking about ending poverty, it means that fashion industry must work towards providing decent jobs with fair wages. If we are talking about zero hunger, this is about reducing the amount of usage of land, the usage of water, which can be used for farmlands, which in turn can be used for food. And water, clean water and sanitation. This is a really huge problem. So this is about how to reduce the consumption of water and pollution from dyeing and finishing processes. That's what fashion is already doing, but of course there is much more to do in the future. Number 12, the goal number 12 about responsible consumption and production. This is about implementing the circular fashion models through ways such renting, recycling, and resale of clothing. And of course, if we are talking about life below water, about life on land, we are talking about implementing innovation solutions to reduce the ocean pollution, to use sustainably the terrestrial ecosystems, manage forests sustainably, avoid desertification, degradation of soils, and prevent biodiversity loss. So these problems are huge, right? I'm talking now globally, but what can be done? So I would like to point out some 2 main ideas which can be put into the core of the approach to everything what is being done in the fashion world. So Today, we often talk about mindfulness. We often talk about consciousness, about awareness. So it's a trend. It's also a trend now. We talk about it. We understand that it's important. So empathy for nature might be the key to really understand why the transformational change in the approach to everything what is happening in fashion, why it is really so important. Without empathy for the nature, it might be even impossible, might be really complicated. So living in big cities, we are often divorced from nature. We are not aware of it. We forget that we are the part of nature, that we breathe it, we drink it, we wear it. So everything from nature, air, minerals, water, soil, everything is in our garments. So we have to remember about it. We have to be aware of it. And if we do remember, we will think differently about what is happening. And if I buy something, I will think about it. So the first principle, to be empathic for the nature. And the second one, the second principle, I would like to talk about the mitigation hierarchy. And this term I took from the wonderful online course by London College of Fashion, which I'm currently taking. So this concept of the mitigation hierarchy has to be put into the core of clothing production cycle. And I will explain here what does it mean. So mitigation hierarchy is about three priorities. The first priority would be avoiding eco damage. So when it is possible, avoid using some dirty energy resources, use green energy, use sustainable fibers, use local resources, avoid transport emission, etc., etc. If we are not able to avoid it, we must reduce, we must do everything to reduce the usage of such energy or such materials which harm the nature. If we cannot use the green energy, we must find a way to make it low the usage of it. And the third priority would be to restore and regenerate the eco-balance damage. So if it's already damaged, the environment around us, do everything possible to restore and regenerate it, to clean the waters, to regenerate the soils, plant trees, plant grass, and so on and so on. Okay, let's move on. And now I would like to go a bit more locally, from global issues, so it was so pretty global, to a little bit local point of view. So, and here I would like to take some help from this interesting lady. She made an interesting talk at TED Talks in Saloniki, and her name is Malin Viola Wenberg. I do hope I pronounce it correctly. When she was making her speech, she was standing on the stage wearing a nice dress. And this dress she made by herself. And she said, okay, guys, I don't encourage you to go back home now and sew all your clothing by yourself. No, because it would be the way back. And I would quote, but going back is not going to take us into the future. What is going to take us into the future is another approach to it. We have to change somehow our attitude to everything what is happening in fashion. This lady also cited some research data which says that about 80% of climate impact stems from production phase. It means that the climate impact already almost done when the garment hits the store. So then we have a question. So what can I do as an individual? I'm not a big fashion industry. I'm just the end consumer. I'm just the end user. So she also cited some research data that if we wear our clothing more, it might reduce the climate impact by 49%. And this is a pretty big figure to my mind. Moreover, if we are buying consciously, if we are buying from a sustainable brand, for example, which uses some green energy, so we can reduce this impact by 67%. This figure is already huge to my mind. So yes, we can do a lot as individuals, globally and locally. We all are in. So the global goals are for every one of us. And now I'm continue to be a little bit locally. I'm doing this locally and personally. So I'm going to share the story of my yoga crop. So I bought it in Bali, and here you see the life cycle of my garment here. Yeah, from raw materials here to the disposal, to the life end of the garment. Here you can see the part of the production phase, where the 80% of climate impact happens. And you can see that my yoga crop top consists of rayon and elastan, so it makes raw materials, wood, and a little bit of fossil oils, yeah. And it was manufactured in some Indonesian factory, not in Bali. So it was handmade, hand dyed, and then delivered it by sea to Bali. So if we are talking about this part, so it could be better. So I would rather buy something which was made in Bali to avoid the transport emissions and all that stuff. It would be more sustainable, but I have what I have. If we are talking about the retail phase, so they give me no plastic packaging, they give me no paper receipt, they send everything by email. So the retail phase, and I also even refused to take the tote bag they offered me. So the retail phase is really sustainable. If we are talking about wearing this item of clothing, so when I do yoga, I'm wearing this top, and I'm becoming more conscious, I'm becoming more mindful, I'm becoming closer to nature and to myself. I'm becoming more sustainable to my mind. And as the item has basic color, basic design, it matches a lot of my clothing. I can wear it not only for yoga. So I would like to wear it a long time. If you are talking about care, it doesn't shade out in the sun, which is good. So I can wear it for many years. It doesn't need ironing, but as the fabric is pretty thick, it needs some more time to dry. But here in Bali, we have enough of sunshine and a lot of sunny weather. So it's not a problem here. So the care phase is also pretty sustainable. Okay, if we are talking about the life end of my beautiful yoga crop, rayon is considered to be more biodegradable than cotton even, but we still have elastan inside, so it will end up in some landfill or incinerator. But the most part of my top will be biodegradable in the end. So why I am showing this story of my yoga crop, because it's an example of how to look at a garment locally and globally, yeah, and how to look. When you look at it, you think about all the production cycle, yeah, and by thinking about it, we apply the new approach to everything what is happening in fashion. So it doesn't matter either you are a designer or you are a consumer. We have to think about it. We have to think about this product life cycle, and it will make difference. So, in conclusion, I would like to highlight some main points of my presentation. So first of all, sustainable development goals, they are urgent. They are an urgent call for action for the humanity, for everyone, for every government, for every person on the planet. And fashion is already on its way, working on reaching all these global goals. Highlight number 2. So empathy. Empathy is the key to another approach in fashion industry, to the nature-centered approach, very mindful approach. Sustainability must be placed at the core of our values, at the core of fashion systems. Then it will work, when it will work accordingly to the global goals. We need a transformational approach. Of course, it cannot happen in one moment, but we need to aim to this goal. We need to aim to these transformational changes at every level, from local to global. And highlight number 3 about us, about consumers, that even though the 80% of climate impact happens at the production phase, every individual can decrease and can significantly decrease the impact by prolonging the lifetime of our clothing, by wearing them longer, by being mindful when we buy clothes, when buying from sustainable brands, and what is also very important, not buying more than we need. So I would like to say a big thanks to the host of this conference. It was really a great opportunity for me to share these ideas, to share my attitude to everything what is happening now as a consumer, as the end user of the fashion products, and to share the global goals and the fashion role in future. And I would like to say that my presentation was mostly inspired by a wonderful online course by London College of Fashion, which is available totally free on FutureLearn resource. I also use Global Fashion Agenda Forum and the speech of Malin Viola Vanberg. In conclusion, so here are my contacts. If you have some questions, you can contact me. I would be happy to communicate with you. And in the end, I would like to say that fashion is a very, very good point, is a very good platform to think about our relationship with nature. It's a very good platform to think about it, because this platform, this point is vivid, is visible, and it's both personal and global at the same time. So fashion is the platform where we can practice how to live in a sustainable way. So thank you very much for your attention. Yes, it was my emotional message to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anastasia. Yeah, it was an emotional message, and we're all responding to the same emotional message and supporting that movement. And thank you for your beautiful presentation and a funny story over a crop top. I think everyone remember that example, which is, yeah, simplified, but that's how it works exactly. So I would like to ask our audience if they have any questions to ask Anastasia. We still have 4 minutes with her. You can unmute yourself easily, guys.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
Anastasia, thank you so much for this great message. I know that you're studying fashion right now, and you're passionate about sustainability, sustainable goals. So how do you see your future and how it is connected with sustainability in fashion? Are you going to talk about it? Are you going to organize conferences? What's the next step for you, and why are you doing this? Thanks.
Thank you so much for this question. It's a great question for me, because actually when I dig deeper into this issue, I understood how potential it is. So first of all, I would like to continue speaking about it. I would like to continue do my impact as a speaker, because I do believe that we can do a lot together in collaboration. That's why fashion must work in collaboration with other fields like agriculture, science, conservation, everything. So yes, I will continue to speak, first of all, and I'm going to finish this online course by London College of Fashion, and maybe I will have some ideas what else I can do. And also, I was really fascinated by the information about tokenization of fashion. I didn't talk about it now because I'm not an expert, but I see a lot of good things in it, because the transparency and decentralization of this system, it gives this sustainability. Of course, there is one controversial subject about, because every Bitcoin needs an immense amount of energy to mine it, but so it's controversial, right? But I see it's very, yeah, okay. So I would like to go deeper into this topic, actually. Thank you very much for this question, because it's also, I answered to myself, actually. Thank you.